All right, guys, this is the 6-3A review worksheet, and we are going to solve a few of these together, and then the rest of them you guys can do on your own. So let's start with number 1. So if you look at number 1 here, remember we are looking for opposite coefficients to a variable. And if you look here, you have a positive x and a positive x. Well, if we add those together, we would get 2x, right? So that doesn't cancel it out. Now you could subtract them and that would cancel it out, but you could also add these two because these two are opposites. You have a positive y and a negative y. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to add them together just as they are because that's going to make my y go away because it'll be 0y. And I will be left with 2x equals, remember we're adding, so 7 plus 3 is 10. And then we're going to divide by 2, so x is going to be 5. Okay, and then once I know that x is 5, I can come back up here and plug it in. So now I have 5 plus y equals 7. So if I take away 5 on both sides, I get y equals 2, which means my answer is 5, 2. Okay. I will let you do number 2 because that's very similar. Notice you have the same setup here, so you can add those two together. Let's do number 4. All right, so for number 4, right now, again, we're looking for opposite coefficients. We have a 2x and we have a negative 2x, so those are opposite. So if I add these two equations together, the x's are going to go away. So x's are 0. I do 3y plus y is 4y. And then negative 12 plus 4 is negative 8. And I'm going to divide by 4. So y is going to be negative 2. Okay, and then once I have that, you can plug that into either one of these equations. I would plug it in to this one, just because it's smaller numbers and it's less coefficients. So I would do negative 2x plus my y value, which is negative 2, equals 4. So if I add 2, that's going to get the negative 2 out of there. So 6 equals negative 2x, and then divide by negative 2, and I get x equals negative 3. So my answer is going to be negative 3, negative 2. And that is it. Okay. Okay, now we get a little bit fancier. If you look at number 5, you don't have the same coefficients or opposite coefficients for either of these. So we are going to have to multiply one of our equations. And there are options here. It's not like one answer is right and one answer is wrong. But what I would do is, because this is a negative 2y and this is positive y, I would work with that because they're already opposites. We just need to make the coefficient number the same. You could do this one, but then you'd multiply by a negative 2 up here, and that isn't going to work as nicely because it just negatives seem to create some errors. So what I would do is I would take this whole equation and I would multiply it by 2. So I'm going to distribute that 2 to everything. I'm actually going to just put it right here. Squeeze it in here. So 2 times 2x is 4x, plus 2 times y is 2y, equals 2 times 4 is 8. So now my two equations are these two. So now from here, we are going to add our two equations together. So here's our equal bar. We're just ignoring this for right now, and we're going to add these together. Okay, so x plus 4x is 5x. Negative 2y plus 2y is 0, so that goes away. And then negative 1 plus 8. Oh, this is not pretty numbers, but that's okay. Negative 1 plus 8 is 7. Okay, so if we divide by 5, here's where you'll just take it as a decimal. You can leave it as 7/5 if you like working with fractions. I would just call it 1.4. That seems to go easier for most people. Okay, so now we have that. Now what I would do is I would plug that in, and I would actually plug it in to this equation, the bottom one, but I mean, you may plug it into any of the three that you see there right now. I just think it's easiest to plug it into that bottom one with the numbers you have there. So it's 2 times x, so 2 times 1.4 is our x value, plus y equals 4. Okay, so we're going to double 1.4. So we get 2.8 plus y equals 4. And then we're going to take away the 2.8. And we get y equals 1.2. Okay, so my answer is the point 1.4, comma 1.2. Okay, so that's number 5. Let's take a look at let's do number 7, because I don't want those fractions to freak you out. And I really try not to put them in this form most of the time for you, but it is just good to see it this way. So let's take a look at this number 7. First of all, they both have to be in the same form. Right now, this one is slope-intercept, and this one is standard form. We want everything in standard form. So we are going to simplify this by putting it into standard form. Now, if you remember, when we put these into standard form before, we multiplied everything by the denominator to get rid of fractions, okay? So I'm going to multiply the left side of my equation by 2 and the right side of my equation by 2. So I have now 2y equals, this would be negative 1 times x minus, and then 2 times negative 3 is 6, negative 6. And then to put it into standard form, I would just add x to both sides. So my new equation is x plus 2y equals negative 6. Now, here's the thing with this one. Look what happens here. You have x plus 2y equals negative 6. That was our second equation. And our first equation became this. Well, when our equations are identical like that, let's just say we changed the sign of everything to make it so we could cancel it. So this is negative, and now this is negative, and now this is positive. If we add those together, we end up with 0 equals 0. Do you remember what that is? That is infinitely many solutions. Okay, so that's that one. That one's a little fancy. Don't stress yourself out over those, but give it a shot. Let's do number 8 together. So if you look at number 8 here, we don't have any of the same or opposite coefficients right now, but one of these equations can be multiplied by something to make it work with the other. So maybe you see this already. If we take this whole equation and we multiply by what? Multiply by 3, right? That will give me a negative 6x, which is the opposite of this 6x. So I'm going to distribute this, and I'm actually just going to write it up above. So this would be a negative 6x. This would be 12y, so plus 12y equals, and then 18 times 3 is 54, Okay, so now here's my two equations that we're going to combine. We're going to solve the system with. So we're going to add these because they're opposites. So negative 6 plus 6, your x's go away. 12 plus a negative 3 is 9y. And then 54 plus negative 18 is 36. And we'll divide by 9. So y equals 4. Okay, and then once we have our y, we can plug that into any of these equations. I would plug it in right here. So it's negative 2x plus 4 times 4, so plus 16, equals 18. Okay, well, if we take away the 16 here, I get negative 2x equals 2. Divide by negative 2, and x will be negative 1. So that means my answer is the point negative 1, 4. Okay. All right, let's see. Why don't... Let's just do one more like this. So again, we want to put it into standard form. So we're going to subtract the 3x. So if I go negative 3x plus y equals negative 5, I'm going to use that equation instead of this one. Okay, now when I do that, if I put the bar here, I can add these together because these are opposites, right? So 3x plus a negative 3x is 0x. Negative y plus y is also 0. So basically we're saying 0 plus 0 equals negative 1 plus negative 5, which is negative 6. So 0 is equal to negative 6, which is not true. So your answer is no solution. Okay. Okay, I'm going to let you finish the rest of those yourself. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and we can try to Zoom. We will be doing a Zoom to go over the review worksheet B together. I'd really love to see all your faces there. So come hang out.